So we have done the mobile authentication, and now it's time that we go and set up our Firebase database and storage. So we'll head over to Firebase console and go to our project. Okay. We will head over to our project, and here in build we will go with real-time database. See, there are two databases in general, that is Firestore database and real-time database. So the real-time database is having a little bit of more flexibility in compared to Firestore database, and for our project the real-time database is going to be the right choice. So we'll go with real-time database and set up our database. We will create database. So let's select whatever database region you want. So I will come up next and then start in test mode. And we will enable our database. And here we do have our database ready. So we will come up in rules, and here in read and write we will make it true. We will make it true, and here in now we will make it true, and we are good to go. So the next thing we want to set up is storage. We will come up in storage and set up our storage. Okay, select whatever region you want to select. I will just go with the default one. Now we have successfully set up the real-time database and storage. Now let's head over to code, and here inside lib common model, I want to introduce a model that's going to be profile data model dot. Let's create a class and name it profile data model, and here we will introduce some variables. So let's have a look. What are those variables? And those variables are this. We will copy them up, paste here, and we will create constructor, generate constructor, and the next thing we want to create is generate JSON serialization, and our model is ready. Okay. So the next thing which we want to do here is that we want to make sure that we can upload data to our storage. So we'll go to services, create a new file and name it image services dot, and we will simply copy the code. So basically I have already written those things, and here we do have those image services. And I will paste them here. Make sure you are importing .io. Picker, we have to go and import constant. So what this picker is, it's basically initializing image picker. So to pick image from gallery, we are going with a package that is image picker. So let's head over to image services. We do have to introduce material here, and image source.gallery. We will be importing image picker. For log, we will be going with developer, and there is a toast service here, as you can see. So let's go to controller services, add a new file, toast service dot. So let's come up here and let's copy the toast class. So this toast is also very simple. I will make you understand. I will just copy them from here and paste up here. Let's import material. Let's import the toast package. So for this toast thing, we are going with Flutter style toast. In PubSpec, you will find that we have added a package that is Flutter style toast. Now it's time that we import sizer and we import our colors file. And at last, we import text style file. And yeah, we are good to go. So basically what this toast is, it's returning a container with a little bit of decoration here. And then based on like what the message toast message, it's a success toast message, it's an error or warning, it's going with the icon. So if it's a success, or you can say if it's a success, then it's going to go with the icon.check circle. If it's a error, then it's going to go with what you can say warning rounded, else it's going with warning rounded. And here we do have if it's a success, then we have this green color here for success. And if it's an error, we do have an arrow color here, that's red. And if it's an warning, that's we are going with amber color. So let me show you the entire widget, how it looks like. So don't worry, I will share the code with you. So there is nothing too critical here, just simple stuff. And here we do have a little bit of animations and other things. So let's head over to image service. Let's import this and let's ignore build context. Yeah. And here this UUID. So this UUID is a package. Basically it's a package which we have initialized in PubSpec. Let's head over to PubSpec and let's figure out this package UUID. So basically why it's used to generate unique ID. Like it can be used anywhere. You can assign it to a user ID, you can use it anywhere. Like it's completely unique. It's every time it's unique. And here we do have to for storing our documents or anything in Firebase storage, we have to introduce Firebase storage in our project. So we will head over to PubSpec and here we do have imported Firebase storage. So let's look onto it and get to know like what this function is gonna do. So at first we do have in image service, we do have this get image from gallery. So initially we have declared a file selected image, and then we will like whenever the user executes this function, it will open up gallery and then pick a file from there. Okay, it can be a file, the user can pick a file, or he or she can like simply close the gallery. So the next thing it says that if file pick is not null, like if the user have like selected a file from his or her gallery, then you execute this code, else you show them a toast that okay, you didn't selected any image from your gallery. So if the user have selected a image from its gallery, then you're gonna take the path of that file and then print it out and return that file. That's it, just too simple. So the next thing is upload image to Firebase storage. So what you are taking, we are taking that file and you are taking that build context. So the first thing comes up is that we are taking the user ID. So user ID is going to be the current user's phone number. Here it is. Next, you are going with a unique ID. Like we are initialing the UUID and then we are assigning a name to our file, or you can say the image name. So it's a combination of user ID and unique ID. And here we have initialized a reference, and it's the location where we are going to store our images. So instead of this product image, it's going to be profile image. We are just where we want to store our image. We are initializing that location into our Firebase database, and then after that we are just uploading our image to Firebase database, and then we are getting the downloadable URL, and then we are returning the URL. It's simple. It's somewhat like that. You pick a file from your gallery, you upload it to Firebase, and in return you get the downloadable URL. That's simple. And here, get image from gallery, it works the same. Pick a file from your gallery, then check it's null or not. If it's not null, then send the file, then just return the file. That's simple. Now let's have a look. Here we do have, okay, now we do need to work on the registration screen. So we will come up in common, we will come up to view registration screen. Okay, so earlier we have initialized like all of those text fields, drop downs and other things. Now it's time that we make the entire process in action, like we execute all of them. So here we will come up with two functions, that is register the driver and register the rider. So it's register customer and register partner. So let's check what are those functions. So these functions are generally nothing. It will check that the whatever the user is, he or she has filled this fields or not. If if the user didn't wrote his name in the name text field, then he or she, like we will give a toast message that okay, Mr. or Mrs., you didn't wrote your name, just write it down. Those toast message, nothing else. And if all of the fields are filled up, then we're gonna register the user. So we will come up here, and at first we will go and copy this code. It's basically nothing, it's just checks. Now here we do have to paste it here. So here we will name it register driver, and here is our toast message. As you can clearly see, it's checked profile pic is null or not. If profile pic is null, you just throw a toast. Then it checks name is null or not. If it's null, then throw a toast. And after all of the checks, here we come, like if everything is filled up, then we come up and we ask the, like we execute the function to upload the image to Firebase storage. And when we get the image file, image downloadable URL, we process the data whatever we have got onto this profile data model, which we have created just now, and then we populate all those datas onto our profile data model, and then we at last push those data to our database. So right now we didn't have written codes for this, like CRUD operations. So let's just it be like that one. So the next thing which we want to add up here is process data for customer, and here it is. We will copy this code, paste up here, and again it goes with the same. It will check that okay, profile pic and other stuff, it's those profile pic and other stuff, like the user has added or not. And if it's like if he or she didn't added those thing, then throw a null, throw a toast, else you execute this function. We will upload the image first, then we will get the profile pic URL, and then we will add those data inside our profile pic model, and then at last we will upload the data. So now let's have a look onto it, like what are the checks we are executing for driver and what are the checks we are executing for rider. Now let's understand this function register driver. So at first it checks that this fields, the text fields and the profile pic and the drop down are like they have filled out some details or not. If they haven't filled out any details, then they're gonna come up with a toast message. Suppose they didn't fill the name, they will come up with a toast message that enter your name. The same goes for all of them. So we are having like lots of checks here for every single field, and it will fill the details. And once all of the details are filled, then we will upload users profile image to Firebase storage, and in return we will collect the downloadable URL of that image, and then we will upload our profile, like whatever data we have registered in our profile data model, and then at last we will upload our data to the database, real-time database. So let's have a look on to register customer function. So here it goes the same. At first we will check that the customer have added necessary fields or not, and if they haven't added, then we're gonna come up with some toast message. Suppose the mobile number it's empty, then we come up with a toast message that okay, dear user, your mobile number is empty, fill this field. And if all of the fields are filled, then we're gonna upload user's image to Firebase storage, and in return we're gonna get the URL of the the downloadable URL. Then we'll upload our data to profile data model. So let's have a look, like what are the data we are uploading. We are uploading this data, and at last we're gonna upload our data to Firebase real-time database. And let's have a look, like in for driver case, what are the details we are uploading. We are uploading this data.